What's up, guys? This is Helium Lemon 15. I need a new intro. No, I don't know. My intro's fine. And today is March 25th, 2019. We're back with The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and we're about to take on this boss fight. We've come all the way to the end of this temple, and here's this sinister-looking pit, and I can't go back, and what kind of crazy boss is this frustrating darn temple gonna have? Well, I don't know. Well, we gotta see, because... Anyway, I was hoping that I would go back because I was like, oh, I'm not prepared enough. I only have one fairy. I need 2 fairies. But, as you can see in the upcoming fight, I didn't need 2 fairies, which I feel like is something pretty cool that I can brag about. So here we get this sequence. It's kind of mysterious. It's like, what's going on? And then we realize that's the boss's perspective, right? It's like this sort of Jaws-esque. I really like what it's doing. It's kind of like 2001 or something out of David Lynch. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, that big old thing comes out of the water. Gargantuan masked fish, Gyorgy. We're fighting a boss battle against Gyorgy Ligeti. Anyway, nobody's gonna get that. It's interesting how they say, like, each of these bosses are masked. Like, can you see any mask on this guy? Did you see any mask on... Or could you tell they... Like, for example, Goat was wearing a mask. Also, I like how Goat and Gyorgy, you get the 2 G bosses in a row. It's a little bit of alliteration. And this boss fight is known to be a little bit difficult. But really, you just gotta kind of stay aware of your surroundings. Make sure he doesn't eat you because it can do quite a bit of health. And here I got eaten. It wasn't that bad. But just stay aware of your surroundings because he can leap up onto the platform. Or he can, like, leap across it at any time. So, you can't really see where he is, you just kind of... But you can use Z targeting to kind of cheat and get an idea of what corner of the thing he's facing. Arrows work just as well. In fact, arrows can actually be a little bit easier to stun him because, you know, they go straight from point A to point B, like, instead of doing, like, 2 curves. I don't know, sometimes the Zora boomerangs can be a little bit unpredictable. And now we get to... the annoying part of the fight where Gyorgy releases, out of his mouth of course, because that makes sense, his spawn, his baby fishies, which are just like a Dalwa's freaking bugs that run around. They terrorize you, and they cause distraction and loss of health. So, they wear down your defense. And I would have grabbed those hearts that they, what's the word, released, that they dropped. But I don't want to stay in the water too long when Gyorgy's swimming around in the water because he's just a moving threat constantly. Like, would you jump into the water for money? Or would you stay in the water longer for money if there's a dangerous shark swimming around with you? I don't know, that's a terrible analogy. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's later in the afternoon. I've had school today. It wasn't a super intense day, but I'm still tired. Because I'm pretty tired in the afternoon, but I'm trying to hide the fact, and yes, I'm getting eaten and chewed on by this stupid fish again. Although, that only does one heart, right? Anyway. In other news, I was hanging out with one of my friends last night. A couple of my friends have been talking about how good the movie Us is, the new Jordan Peele movie. I think it's really cool that Jordan Peele is going to be hosting the Twilight Zone. I just saw that on like a bus stop this morning. I was like, what is that? That's crazy, man. Yeah, Us sounds interesting. Even though I don't watch a lot of horror movies, I feel like I would do like a lot of mental preparation to watch it. There's a lot of horror movies and I guess other stuff that I'm interested in just because I like crazy stuff in general. But you know, I also don't get very much sleep at night, and I'm 20 and I'm still pretty afraid of the dark, or just not so much being home by myself, but still pretty afraid of the dark. I don't know. But I do want to keep watching Twin Peaks, like the Fire Walk With Me movie or Season 3, even though I hear they're pretty scary. I'm just gonna go for them. Probably just watch them at some point. I just watched The Big Short. I was walking around at Barnes & Noble, which, by the way, I love Barnes & Noble. I love the fact that there's still Barnes & Noble... Yeah, I think it's Barnes & Noble, not Barnes & Nobles. But I love the fact that that store is still around, and yeah, it makes me nostalgic. But yes, I picked up a DVD of The Big Short, and I watched it, and it was interesting. That's, what, you wanted me to say more about The Big Short? I don't know. If you just leave things as they are, something terrible will happen. That's what Tail was trying to tell us. So this giant is saying, help our friend. I get it, we have to help the last one. I don't know if you've played this game before, but I have, and I'm not exactly sure that's what he's saying. Then promise us this, you'll cooperate with us. Wow, Tattle being manipulative once again. No, I don't know. So now we get some peaceful music, and this turtle will talk to us for a while. He's just kind of like the old guy at a party that just talks for a while, you know. But the evil that haunts this land has not completely vanished, O High Mark. I shall depart after enjoying Lulu's voice a bit longer. I think the gods can permit that. Yeah. That line wouldn't be so creepy if it didn't have the yeah at the end. I'm just saying. No, he is a giant turtle, but, like, that's weird. Anyway, Zelda games are weird sometimes. Sometimes they are weird. Man. But then we get this. And now that we've saved Lulu, we get a nice jazz band. We get a jazz band. We get to hear the wonderful jazz band. Or it might be more like a pop band. I was surprised when my voice turned that lonely island into a turtle. Well, wouldn't anybody be surprised if an island just turned into a turtle? It turned into a turtle. You crazy man. 1, 2. Hey man, that's my song. Yeah, man. You got the Tower of Power right there. Got the... well, I meant like a Tower of Keyboards, but if you're a Tower of Power fan, that's cool too. It's a nice kind of like jazz-inflected melody. I can't stop watching Simon Franzman and his like jazz meme videos. Like he has a video where it's steamed hams, but dubbed by Rick Beato and Barry Harris, and it's just lots of music jokes, and it's like I lose it when he's just like, yeah, that's some pretty hip stuff, man. I just love anything like that. I love the hip cats. I love hanging out with the hip cats. No, I don't, because hip cats are weird people. Except my dad. My dad's a hip cat, man. Augmented 6 chords. No, I'll stop. Most people watching this would not get music jokes. But I have been thinking, and I have like a video game overload, so I'm not really wanting to buy more video games right now, but I'm really just interested in the future of video games. And I think video games have so much potential right now. They're almost a little bit in a glory age, at least with Nintendo doing Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, and just people are so happy with those two games. Like, I know people are happy with Mario Odyssey because, one, it's gorgeous, two, they're really like thinking outside the box, but three, like, it's a return to kind of like the Super Mario 64 formula, and I think people were just, you know, nostalgic for that and like really kind of craving that. Oh, I remember eventually I got to a point where it was just like so dark that I couldn't see anything, man, and then I was trying to find this fairy fountain. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. I don't have a Switch, so I don't think I'm going to be playing Mario Odyssey right now. But I'm just like, it's been a while since Mario Odyssey came out, but I'm just so excited about it. I'm excited about the fact that it exists, and I'm excited at the fact that Nintendo's doing stuff like that. Also, I'm just kind of addicted to like just watching video games that are just like beautiful. Like, a lot of the today's like Mario games are like that. Like even 3D World, like even if you have qualms about that, whether that's a good game or not, it's a beautiful game to look at. Like, I don't know. And Breath of the Wild, I have it. It's just like Breath of the Wild is so addicting to just like explore. Anyway, here I think it was my TV was so dark that I couldn't figure out what to do. I was like, what do I do? Can I grab onto anything up there? I think I can just jump up there, and I hope eventually I just like go for it and just jump up there. What? Fire arrows? Really? What am I doing? Come on past me, what are you doing? Oh, I thought like fire arrows would like help me see if there was some light up there, like light up that area up there and maybe see it a little better. I kept thinking that was like a cave entrance, but no, that's a boulder. Couldn't tell if it was convex or concave, man. Yeah, I don't know if it's fun from like, I don't know if it's fun to hear, but I just have like a few like video games that I can come back to and watch like anytime. Like Secret of Evermore is this other game that I'm like obsessed with, and I can come back to it and watch it at like any time. I don't know. I also want to watch like I also want to watch like Link's Awakening. Anyway, and then those are the games that I'm gonna watch. Well, what about the games I'm gonna play? Like, what are the games that I have, man? Well, that's the question. So, I know that's boring. I think this Let's Play channel is like fun because it's like, oh, I'm thinking outside the box a little bit more. Like, oh, I'm gonna really invest my time into a playthrough of Majora's Mask. So, I probably said all that before. But anyway, all our hard work are getting the stray fairies, the Great Bay Temple has paid off, and we're going to get a special upgrade from this Great Fairy, which, by the way, that hair color is like sort of attractive, and that color of eyeshadow. I still think that the Great Fairies are like way too, scare quotes, mature, like for this game. Like I just don't feel like I should be looking at them in general, but I don't know, I have very unusually high standards, and usually for video games, so I don't know, I just don't feel like the Great Fairies should be in this game. Don't get me started on the Great Fairies in Twilight Princess, but the Great Fairies in Breath of the Wild are alright. Alright, tune in next time on Majora's Mask for more shenanigans.